How's it going, everyone? Well, welcome to the new camera test screen. So, we will see how this goes. Also trying on YouTube instead of Twitch. Yeah. Hope you guys are all doing well today. And I am just a grumpy old wargamer who loves our hobby very, very much, and have lots to share and talk about. And so, if you guys have any questions, feel free to share. Also, a coffee lover. Well, let's see what we got today in the news. So, we got. Is there no news today? What's up? We got. The only news is a rumor engine. Ooh. Alright, so it's like some sort of magical vapor coming out of the ground, perhaps. Or maybe it's a fire belly, and this is just steaming off of his coal-like head or something, perhaps. Yeah. Well, all very cool. So, hope you all are doing well. So today, I thought I would just take a quick journey back to something that I think bothered a lot of people, but I think it was an important time for the Warhammer hobby and tabletop gaming in general. Sort of a snapped everyone out of the old ways, and it made a lot of people mad. But it's this. The first edition of Age of Sigmar. Now, I have to say, I perhaps am one of those people that was really annoying to everyone, but I thought this was incredible. Shout out to Chris and Jay at Lords of War. Incredible hobby shop. I will never forget the day I walked in and saw the Retributors on the tabletop, and like the glory of these models. I gotta get a better. There you go. Maybe don't. There you go. Yeah. Man, there is something brilliant about the Stormcast Eternals. More so than Space Marines, and probably get a lot of flack for that. They are both immortal and destructible, and to suffer a fate probably worse than death is to repeat their deaths a million times until they become nothing but shards of themselves. It is fantastic. And there is still so much potential with this game, and I hope Games Workshop starts laying into it more. As of late, it feels that the sheer creative weight and magic that went into that first edition and a half, where we got the rebranding of the old races, we got the Stormcast, we got the Caradrons, we got the Iron Jaws, we got the Fire Slayers, which I still think probably were originally intended for a potential other universe of the old world, um, where they might have explored not the world ending. Um, there is a beautiful book um, called Slayer. I don't want to spoil for anybody, but there are a lot of parallels between the dwarves you meet there um, in Gotrek's final journey in the old world um, that could have been what the Fire Slayer sort of were. Um, Maybe not with the Magmadroth aspect, but certainly the priestly aspect of it all. But back to the Stormcast. So I guess this is a Stormcast talk now. I do appreciate the the direction GW has gone with making them very human like now. They're really trying to lay into the human element. I'm not sure if that's a mistake. Time will tell. I think we have our human element. We have all of our humans in Cities of Sigmar, and all the tribes and the lost peoples and the abandoned peoples, which should be explored more. Warcry is great for getting towards that. Thank goodness for that. Gave us a million different versions of Marauders that we all love, and always wished we had in the old world. But there's a story from the early days of Age of Sigmar where Vandus Hammerhand basically gets out of bed in the morning, if you can call it that. He gets awoken to go do his duty, and he sits up off of his bed, and above him is the sky in his chamber. It's the stars and constellations of the celestial realm, or I guess all the realms. It seems that sometimes the celestial realm seems to flip flop between being all the stars around everything versus it's the realm itself. But he gets up out of bed and he reaches his arm up into towards the ceiling, and with that magic he pulls his cloak out of it, and he's get wrapped in this cloak of stars and star magic, and it's just incredible. And I worry about making them too human. I really like the demigod aspect of them, and it's something um, maybe I'll explore in later streams. But I do think that the Stormcast, as wild as their stats are now, I think if we ever get to a point where we take on some more stats to add complexity to the Age of Sigmar game, um, you know, or we maybe look at potentially better defining the archetypes of Age of Sigmar. They've done a good job of trying to get there, but it doesn't feel like there's enough stats probably to adjust that. Um, but I really like what they've done with 4th edition, trying to play to archetypes. It just needs to be more. For example, like a normal Stormcast probably shouldn't be pretty much as tough as an Ardboy, or, and strangely enough, how even like an Elven Blade Lord is somehow very tough in the 2 health category and a good save. So, but beyond that, Stormcasts have a magic to them, and as we see their journey and them turning into the monsters that they potentially become, there's some stuff that seems to have fallen by the wayside a bit with the Reclusians. in the first editions of Age of Sigmar, there's also something incredible about the Stormcast is that the more broken they get, the more seeming elemental they get. Um, Beautiful series of books about Thostos Bladestorm, um, and that's why my the Celestial Vindicators are my favorite chamber or uh, oh, uh, Stormhost. There we go, Stormhost. But basically, um, they become more elemental. So like the hammers of Sigmar like become more lightning elemental and like the Celestial Vindicators, like Thostos practically turns to to steel. He's been reforged so much, which is incredible. Um, the Reclusians, at least implied by the most recent iterations and the trailers they gave, are still mostly human. Um, they haven't gone quite as extreme as I would have thought they might have done. Um, but you know, it's still early days. They might bring that aspect back. So I just love to hear your thoughts on Stormcast. Now with uh, Age of Sigmar First Edition, um, we got introduced to this extremely high fantasy, endless realms of potential. And I still see that as what we have today for Age of Sigmar. And that is my great hope for it, is to see all of the things that they were building and for them to continue to be fearless with their design. Um, Not sort of crawl things back to the way they were in the old world, um, but to keep going further, to go over the top, and to just live in this like extremely uh, fantastical metal realm. Not metal as in Shemon, but like this this style of just pure fantasy. Yeah, and let me know in your thoughts. We can go into deep dives maybe another day. This is mostly just to test out the camera and to uh, to revel in this gem of wargaming history. Um, Again, I know a lot of people. I think the hate for the rules was um, mostly because everyone was really sad to see everything change. I think now that people have their old world back and realize that it never really left. We You always could have played 8th edition and 7th edition and so on back. I mean, I probably won't be breaking out the Ravening Hordes rules to play, but we look at the way the current state of the game is, and we got the old world, which I think honestly, if you take 8th edition rules and just play with the larger base sizes, it's pretty fantastic because the larger base sizes solves some of the bit scarier aspects of the flame templates and the spells and the war machines that hitting so many fewer guys it actually is it might actually be a better game, but that's I guess another talk for another time. Well, let me know in the comments below what you guys would like to talk about with an old wargamer. And cheers. I'll see you guys next time.